Hello guys, we are back with our next lecture. In this lecture, let us start the second unit of software quality testing, guys. So the first topic in this unit is integrating quality activities in project lifecycle. So basically we have many methodologies, right? Like normal SDLC, prototyping model, spiral model, object oriented model, like that we are having various models, right? Yes. So if you want to add a software quality, will you create a new model or will you do some modifications in these models, guys, as they are pre-established? Yes, the answer is as they are pre-established and well known, let us add our quality modifications to them to make them into usable way, right? Yes. So I hope everyone got the idea of the introduction, right? So what are we going to do? Okay. So first of all, I am saying you is that all these topics have been discussed in software engineering, guys. So if you are having some time, please watch those lectures, or if you remember the concepts like how we learnt them, you just revise the notes, guys. I will be sharing the notes of that particular unit in the group, don't worry. Okay, yes, or you can find the notes in software SE, guys, software engineering SE unit 1. So in unit 1 you can find these topics. Okay, yes. Okay, so basically the normal or the classic SDLC is the linear one, right? So it will be in a circular way, like one input will become the other's output, right? Yes. So basically for our understanding, instead of explaining in air, I thought of showing you the images directly. Okay, yes. So basically the software development life cycle, so the life cycle will look in this way. So initially you will be planning for your project. Okay, then you will define them, then you will design some diagrams and all those things, then you will start building it. So once building is done, you will test it, you will deploy it, and again this process continues. Okay, yes. So this is the normal classic one, you can say. Okay, so the classic SDLC model is a linear sequence model comprising several phases, beginning with the requirement phase, defining conclusion with regular system operations and maintenance. Okay, so let us go to the next point also. So at the end of each phase, outputs are reviewed and evaluated by the developers as well as in many cases by customers also. So the outcome ranges from approving the result from that phase or asking to do some changes. Okay, so assume that this okay, let's just give me a second. Okay, let me rotate in this way. Yes. So assume that based on the requirement, so let us add a small phase between these two, guys. So basically here you will be checking the quality, here you will be checking the quality, here you will be checking the quality, in between these two you will check the quality, in between these two you will check the quality, right? Yes. So based on your requirement, you added the quality checking, right? So now your question will be, who will be checking the quality? So the quality will be checked by both the developers. So basically if this project is developed by team A, team B will check this quality, okay, and as well as the customer. So basically who ordered the project or whose the project is it, the client or the customer, so he will also check it. So basically here the results might be two, right? So it is completely accepted by both of them, or someone will be saying to do some small changes, so those changes will be done. So in this way, this quality check could be added to the normal SDLC model, guys. Okay, similarly moving on, the waterfall model can be viewed as a basic framework. So basically if you ask me, for a small project, waterfall model will be the best, guys. Okay, because it's a step-by-step process and easily implementable and easy to understand. Yes, the waterfall model can be viewed as the basic framework, okay, for other models which can be considered as complementary and represent a different perspective of the process or anything. Okay, so according to the prototyping method, so basically the waterfall model will look in this way, guys. Just to give me a second, I'll be showing you the image. It's just the next topic, right? Yes. So the waterfall model will look in this way. So it is a step-by-step process, you can say. Okay. So it's almost similar to SDLC. Okay. Yes. So in the same way as SDLC, how you indicated. So in the same way, you can add some layer in between them where the quality checks are done. And if the quality is assured, it's okay. Or else you will be modifying them and you will be continuing the process again and again until the quality is satisfied, right? Yes. Okay, similarly prototyping model. So just to give me a second, I'll be showing you the image of prototype. Okay, so this is the prototype model, guys. So from the name only you can say, so once you gather the requirements, you will be designing and you'll create a small prototype, guys. So based on that prototype, you will take the customer review, and if it's okay, you will continue to design, else you will be stuck in this loop only until your customer is satisfied. So this is the concept of prototype model, guys. Please revise these concepts once again, guys. Okay, so that if it is asked in your examination, you can just write it, right? Yes. So according to prototyping methodology, the development system users are required to comment on versions of the software prototype prepared by the developers. The developers therefore correct the prototype and incorporate the additional requirements. So basically once they release a small version of prototype, so assume that they made their first prototype, they will name it as a version 1.0. So the other developers and the client will review it, guys. Okay, so once the reviewing is done, they will do those modifications which are informed, and they will again create a prototype and they will be naming it as 1.1. So again this checking will be done. If it is satisfied, they will move on to the next stages. In this way it will work, guys. Okay, yes. So the main advantage of prototyping over SDLC for small and medium sized projects are shortly developed. So basically here, instead of developing the whole project and giving the final product, you are just creating a prototype. So basically if you ask me, a prototype making may take around 2 to 7 days, whereas the project whole development will take some months, guys. 1 to 3 months. In that way, guys, I am giving you some approximate dates. Don't take them as the exact ones. Okay, yes. So that is the major advantage here. Okay, similarly, coming to spiral model. Okay, so the spiral model will look in this way, guys. Okay, yes. So in spiral model, we are having multiple phases, and once all the phases are done in a proper way, then you will be getting the final output, guys. Okay, so that is the reason why it is called a spiral model, guys. Please watch those lectures once again, guys, if you are having time. Okay, yes. Okay, so the spiral model provides and improves the methodology for large and complex projects. So basically spiral model is used for large projects, guys. Okay, so after each and every phase, you will be checking. Okay, yes. So the improvement is achieved by introducing the emphasized elements of risk analysis. So basically the major advantage of this spiral model is, in spiral model we do risk analysis also, whether the project can be done easily in the budget or not. So everything will be checked. Okay, yes. So the major advantage of spiral model, the win-win model, places the extra emphasis on communication and negotiation between the customer and developer. So basically in that model, I don't know exactly the model diagram, but in that model you will be adding the customer and developers in negotiation about the money and all those things, also the budget and all those things. Okay, the customer wins by improving the changes, okay, and the developer wins by committing them. So basically they will get money in exchange of working for something more advanced. So in that way it will work, guys. Okay, yes. Okay, so the object oriented model, guys, I do not have any diagram for this object oriented model. Anyway, I'll be searching in Google. Just give me a second. Okay, so let us continue. So the diagram also looks like the same process which we do for normal also, guys. It is just the named as object oriented. Okay, so here we are doing requirement analysis, system specifications. Okay, after that design, implementation, test and maintenance. So again we are doing planning and all those things. Okay, so it's the diagrams, guys. In Greeks, for Greeks they gave the clear explanation also, so you can just go through it once if you are interested. Okay, yes. So deals with the situation of, okay, so please go through this concept, guys, because I'm not having that much clear idea about this object oriented model. I am not having clear idea about this explanation. Okay, yes. So these are the small changes which are done. I discussed about these three, guys. So the last one, please you go through it. Okay, yes. So these are small modifications which could be made to these models so that they could be used for the quality assurance also, right? Yes. So I hope everyone got some basic idea, right? Yes. So in the next lecture we'll be discussing about the terminology, verification, validation and qualification. Okay, yes. So let us meet in the next lecture and discuss about this concept. Okay, yes. So let us meet in the next lecture. Thank you. Thanks for watching.